The race for the emergence of the Minister of Youth has divided the youth of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, with a faction of the APC youth leaders declaring their support for Seyi Tinubu, the son of President Bola Tinubu, to lead them in their quest for the right choice of the aforesaid position. Now, majority of the party's state youth leaders snubbed the stance of the national youth leader, Dayo Isreal, on the subject matter.
The APC youth leaders noted that the strength and success of the Tinubu-led government depends largely on the viability of the youth ministry, adding that Seyi painstakingly strengthened the youth wing of the party and has a better understanding of the peculiar challenges confronting the youth. The youth leaders' plea is coming days after President Tinubu redeployed Abubakar Momo from the youth ministry to the Ministry of Niger Delta Development following outcry by Nigerians who pointed out that he is not a youth. Joining us this morning is Dr. Charles Oludare Marintoti. He's a public affairs analyst and a member of the APC. Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, and thanks for having me this morning.
All right, we'd like you to give us a clear picture of what's going on. It now seems like it's Dayo Isreal against Seyi Tinubu and people throwing their support behind Seyi Tinubu. I saw a document that a number of young APC members had signed saying that they were throwing their weight behind Seyi Tinubu. What's this drama that's going on within the party?
The drama to me on a personal level is a little bit very confusing because, it's like they are not the youth leaders in these states that are, writing these letters. They are not really focusing on what the concern should be. If you have, they said that they want Seyi Tinubu to actually midwife the process of selection, and some people are saying they actually want him to be made, the minister. But it is, to me, not about having a youth representative. It's about having youth representation, and this, youth party chairman should be representing the interests of the youth. So I believe they should have been more focused in, something called, analyzing. Making their own demands, what they want whoever is chosen to be the minister of the youth to do. Yes, I agree. Seyi Tinubu strengthened the youth wing of the country, of the party, traveled all across the 36 states. But does that mean he understands the reality of the youth in Benin Gwari or the reality of the youth in Lagos or all across the country? They should be coming together and sharing the concerns of the youth, not just the APC youth, but all the youth in their community, and making a demand and putting it on the table and having, their own performance assessment indices. And those are things that I think are more germane to, the post of the APC youth, the Minister of Youth, as opposed to trying to squabble against maybe it should be the national youth leader or it should be the son of the president. I think these are absolutely impertinent to the course of Nigeria right now. Nigerian youth have a lot of things that is, they are beleaguered with a lot of difficulties, high level of unemployment, a poor skill level compared to their contemporaries, poor health indices. The median age of a Nigerian is about 18 years old. So, healthcare, all those things. Outside the country, an average 30-year-old that with an education would have bought a home. In Nigeria, if you are 30 and you have a house of your own, you're probably into internet fraud or something. These are things that they should be talking about, the things that will change the lives of the people, as opposed to
So what you're saying now is that, generally the APC youth wing, regardless of who is heading it, seems misguided. It doesn't seem to know exactly what its focus should be, and of course doesn't even seem like a genuine group, a group that genuinely has the interests of Nigerian youth at heart. They're looking for personal interests. Because if they haven't spoken, concerning ASU strikes and haven't spoken about insecurity and spoken about the unemployment, across the country, they're instead having internal squabbles, about who leads them, then they basically are, as lost as possibly can be, right?
I would not differ so much from your characterization of the situation because, there are definitely issues like Nigerian youths have. My father used to tell me when he was in university, they all went home the same time. They have the uniform calendar. So if you're in Ibadan or OAU everywhere, you go home for holiday during the holiday summer period. Right now, FUTA will close at a separate time. How do we unify the calendar? Time
Kindly
plus
hold
to
on.
have to strike, like you mentioned.
Yeah, kindly hold on. Apologies.
Hello.
Of course, that isn't just the work of APC Youth. Is the youth ministry in Nigeria, of course, along with different other ministries. Of course, the education sector that should also get those things in check. But let's quickly share with our viewers the letter that we're talking about here, and then I'll point out a couple of things I would like you to react to. It says the clarion call for purposeful minister of youth that is fit for the job. It starts by, of course, describing who they are, the Forum of Youths of the All Progressive Congress, comprising 36 states and the FCT, congratulating the president. It also says the forum observed the strength and success of the administration, and it says it largely depends on the viability of the youth ministry. This is the second paragraph now. Is requesting for a careful consideration of the personality of the would-be minister of youth to be in tandem with peculiar character of the youths. Of course, throwing the previous minister of youth that eventually was dropped under the bus there because he is, of course, in the 60s. Let's take the second side of the letter. There's 2 pages here of the letter. It goes on to say here, let me share this with you. It says, Your Excellency, sir, it will interest you to note that His Excellency, Seyi Tinubu, has consistently and against all odds painstakingly strengthened the youth wing of the party. Mr. Marindoti, 2 things I want to ask. The first one is it right that we see a group of people trying to cajole the son of the president, who is not an elected a member of government, to impose, seemingly, someone who would be minister in the federal capital in Nigeria, basically? Is it right that we have, that kind of scenario play out here? And then the second question is, who is His Excellency Seyi Tinubu? His Excellency in what regard?
Yeah, I guess they were just trying to patronize the man Seyi Tinubu by calling him His Excellency. I don't think he refers to himself as His Excellency. His Excellency, I think it's only referred to elected executives, not even House of Rep or Senate members. So that is definitely it. And like you also said, actually for me personally, on my own personal terms, I kind of feel the position of Minister of Youth is a little bit ominous because, like we were saying, like you alluded to, a lot of the problem of the youth, there is no, what is the portfolio, the description of his job. A lot of the problem of the youth, the minister of the youth cannot fix it by himself. You have to work with education ministry, labor ministry, transportation ministry. You get? So when you think about minister of the youth, I think it's just because of it's I think it's a mentality thing whereby we think the youth are the youth are a little bit subjugated, so we have to create a separate ministry for them. Because when you look at it, in a country with about 75% of its population less than 40, the minister of health, education, all the ministers should be ministers for the youth, as opposed to just creating one peculiar department for it. And I feel like someone like Bosun Tijani, with what he said during the screening procedure, where he spoke about times that he had gone to bail youth out, and all, he has shown something that he can add that Ministry of Youth to his portfolio. In my own opinion, if you are talking about information economy, information economy and all of that, it is something that will be driven by the youth. So those are like some things that trying to carve out a niche for them whereby a preferred associate is going to be the one that is going to be put in that position, and trying to lobby the son of the president to choose someone for them that they think will benefit them. I don't think benefits us all. And if we cannot think wholesale, if we are thinking retail, what will benefit me, we will not go any far. If you want to go fast, you can go alone. If you want to go far, you should go together. So they should think about all Nigerian youth and what will take the Nigerian youth from this redundant state where we are just doing nothing to a state where we are productive, we are employed, we can contribute to the economy, contribute to the healthcare scheme and all of that, and find a way to maybe find a job. Personally, I am a little bit skeptical about that position of Minister of Youth, really, because I don't understand what the portfolio is, what the budget will be like, what are going to be the programs that they want to implement. Because every single thing that they might want to do, they'll need to work with other ministries. So why can't other ministries just do their jobs? That's my own personal opinion about it.
That's a valid point you've highlighted there. Exactly what is the responsibility of the Minister of Youth. Also, it's noteworthy to mention that whoever is appointed Minister of Youth is not only going to be serving the APC, they're going to be serving all of Nigeria. So it's interesting that the APC has made it mandatory that they decide amongst themselves, who to throw their support behind. I'd like us to talk about Dayo Isreal. I believe he's the national youth leader of the All Progressives Congress. Whilst we do not know we don't know much about the quality of his character as a leader. So we're hoping that you can share with us who he is and the quality of the character of his leadership skills in the All Progressives Congress.
Thanks for that question. Personally, I have never met him before. I never interacted with him. I am in the United States, so I have not been opportune to see him. He seems like a very decent person, someone who, has the interest of Nigeria at heart. I know I saw some things when he went to the Aso Rock and met with the president and asked for, APC youth to be empowered. I actually happen to be of the train of thought that it's better when you empower all Nigerians, and then you can actually bring more people into your fold. Because if Nigeria is functioning and everybody gets a job, regardless of what party you are or what tribe you belong to, even if you are not interested in politics at all, everybody will see the APC as a viable, as the way to go, and that will help allay a lot of the situations and problems that is happening across Africa with the whole coups here and there, because what is bringing about all these things is discontent. So I can differ with him on some issues, but from a 1,000 miles view that I have of him, I think he's a decent person, and I think he is doing a good job as the APC leader. However, trying to lobby for the post of the of the Minister of Youth, I don't even think, because the president has selected 48 ministers, and I don't think there's any, and they are all selected by states. So I think he's from Ogun State or whatever state he's from. I don't think there's a space for him to even slot into, because those are also part of the constitutional consideration that must be made. But yeah, I don't know him as a person. I must be honest about that.
Yeah, of course. There's still the slot is still open. And it's just not a good look. Seeing a political party's youth wing lobbying for who will become Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not not Minister of APC Youth or Minister of the APC alone. It's just a bad look. And also seeing them trying to convince the son of the president to seemingly nominate who will become Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, also not a good look. And if you look at that letter, look at some of the names on that letter. One of them is Tony Kabaka. Tony Kabaka is 53. He is, of course, there are documentaries on YouTube describing him as a well-known cultist in Edo State. That is, seemingly the Edo State APC youth leader. These aren't good signs as to what the APC is bringing for Nigeria, in any way, shape, or form.
I want to say something that, in Nigeria in general, we have it on record that the president of the National Association of Nigerian Students, a lot of them are in their 50s, and these are supposed to be Nigerian students, undergraduates. So these things, it is, when you look at a lot of the people writing these letters and all, if you ask them what is your occupation, they are essentially professional national youth leader. So it's a part of the general problem that is occurring in the country, where people don't have jobs and then they see all these things as their only avenue to survival. But I must push back a little bit when you say that not just the minister of the APC, it is politics. It is still a game of politics, and you are also always going to have to pick someone that you have worked with, that you think can work with you. So definitely it has to be an APC. It will most likely not have to be. It will most likely be an APC person that will be selected to be Minister of Youth. It's just the way the game goes. I wish it could be, anybody, but
that's
it's just
quite
a game of politics.
an interesting, perspective. Yeah. As we wrap up this conversation, I'm reminded of the line in the national anthem that says, "The labors of our heroes past shall never be in vain." But the heroes past will need to step aside for the heroes present to start to take office. We can't be having people who are in their 50s and 60s being youth leader, what then is the definition of a youth? But this is a conversation for another day. Mr. Marin Doty, thank you very much for your time with us this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.